Hey, this is Ruth Hartunian Ellenba, otherwise known as Ravings and Cravings, coming to you from the Zoom world today. Thanks to Elm Discount Package Store for sponsoring this program, as well as Tony's Pizza. Thank you so much. It's really appropriate that Tony's Pizza would be one of the sponsors, especially today, since we're going to be talking about things that were born in New Haven. So I'm here today with Steve Thomas, who is the owner of New Haven Direct Connect. So welcome, Steve.
Thanks, Ruth. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi. If people did not read my post recently, I posted and said that Steve sent me a box of food to try from New Haven. And so this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, like, Steve, you've only been doing this for a little while. How many years now?
We're about 2.5 years into the business.
Okay, so you're a toddler. So,
Yeah.
what were you doing before you were doing New Haven Direct, if I may ask?
I was a corporate head of marketing, believe it or not, and I spent a lot of time in the franchise world. So I was a head of marketing for Edible Arrangements for 6.5 years and
Ah,
ran marketing for a few other franchise companies. I worked for Subway earlier in my career.
oh wow.
So most of my background is in franchise marketing.
So, how different is that from what you're doing now?
Well, some of it's very similar because I find myself having conversations with myself these days, like we used to have with our individual franchisees back then. Stick with the program, everything's going to be okay. Just have faith in the model. It's going to work out. And now I'm having that positive self-talk with myself now. And there
Hmm.
are a lot of similarities. And my business now is fairly seasonal, like the edible arrangements business. We get slammed around the Christmas holidays and around Easter, and we have a small bump around Mother's Day and Father's Day. So there's a lot of similarities there.
Hmm. So the star of the show is the food that you have procured for people to choose from. Talk about the brands of the food and what you have to offer as far as mail order food.
Yeah, we have 17 different partners from Greater New Haven, and the common theme with all of the partners is they're primarily family owned, and they've been
Wow.
doing what they've been doing for a long, long time. And what I mean by a long, long time is 50, 60, 70 years.
Wow.
So really, really have gotten very good at making the products that they make. And they're very well known in the Greater New Haven area and even beyond that.
Hmm.
And I wanted to work with the best of the best. And so I started to approach folks about doing this.
Hmm.
And it was a slam dunk for most of them because they didn't have a way to get product to people that had moved out of Connecticut or were beyond, say, driving distance from Greater New Haven and
Uh-huh.
really missed the products. So this was found business for them. So
Hmm.
it was a win-win for both of us.
So, in my mind, I'm thinking if you're in business, in the food business, especially 60 or 70 years, you certainly have a track record and you are successful at what you do. And that you're not successful, you are successful because you have a product that you have made consistently for that amount of time in order for people to take advantage of, right?
Right, right. And you've gotten really well known for being, putting out a consistently excellent product too.
Well, I'm going to kind of go out on a limb too. You tell me what you think. I'm thinking if you're in business for that long, the generation that started it might still be around, and maybe it's on to the next generation.
Yep, yep,
The generation that started it would have less of a clue of how to have their food delivered to someone's door. I mean, that's a huge logistic. That takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of, like, you have to think about how you transport it and how
yep.
much ice you put in there. I mean, aren't those are things that you got to think about, right?
Yeah, logistics is, especially with perishable products, was something that
Yeah.
I had to master pretty quickly. And we did a lot of testing before we sort of went public. I
Mhm.
had friends and family that were down south that were kind of my guinea pigs that we tested packaging with and,
Mhm.
sent packages that were too warm. And so we knew we had to dial up the insulation and the
Ah,
ice
there we
bricks and
go.
things
Yeah.
like that. And we
Yeah.
we perfected it over a couple months before we launched. And now we have it dialed in really well. And to your point about the generational
Hmm.
sort of knowledge there,
Hmm.
some of these families are run now, these companies rather are run by, second or even third generation family members. And,
Hmm.
in the case, for example, like Lamberti Sausage in New Haven,
Uh-huh.
as soon as I called Jay Lamberti, who's I would say he's about 40 maybe, and he called me back immediately and said, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for something like this to come along to
Nice.
help us, get online and help us, get our product out to people who really miss it that we can't service anymore."
Hmm. The speaking of Lamberti, as long as we're speaking of that, you did include that in the box full of goodies that you sent me. And I grew up in Wisconsin, and the community that I grew up in was highly Polish. I'm Armenian, but a lot of my friends in school were Polish, and the little corner candy store had a Polish kind of deli, and their Polish sausage, like no one made anything like that. My mom was sending
Yeah.
that to me frozen when I was in college in Oklahoma or Kansas from Wisconsin,
Hmm.
and but I'll tell you that the not all Italian sausages are created equally, are they?
That's true. This is like most of our products, that Italian sausage is made according to old world recipes,
Yeah,
been made the same way for years and years and years.
amazing.
It's top quality. And I would say about probably 80% of our products are Italian in nature because, New Haven and Connecticut more broadly has such a big Italian
Hmm.
American community, and I'm Italian. So I grew up in New Haven, and that was naturally the first place I gravitated. But we do carry some other products. We carry, brats and knockwursts and kielbasa, and we carry some kosher products too. A ton of kosher
Right.
baked goods for the Jewish holidays right now,
Hmm.
especially, which
Hmm.
is has been pretty successful for us. So I'm trying to appeal to multiple audiences and have a
Hmm.
little something for everyone. And the beauty of our business is you can mix and match your basket, which is another unique trait of it. Places like Omaha Steaks and other places like that, you just have to get meat, for example. With us,
Right, right.
you can order meat and cheese and antipasto items and dessert items. You can mix and match your own grocery box and,
Yeah.
put whatever you like in there.
Well, and talking about whatever you like, you in the box that you sent me, not only was there Lambert's hot sausage, but there was a cheese that you referred to called a table cheese.
Yeah.
Like, why is it called a table cheese?
Well, a lot of Italians, they'll just put a cheese out. There's almost like a cheese course, or it'll be part of an antipasto. So
Okay.
a table cheese means that it'll be on the table for grazing,
Oh.
and it could be with grapes, it could be with crackers and a fig dip, it could be with a cured meat like a salami or something like that.
Hmm.
And you just, sort of grab it whenever you want to have a slice. And that particular cheese is called Oricchio, and it's a nice sharp Italian table cheese, very
Yeah.
popular. We sell a ton of it, and it's my favorite. I love sharp Italian cheese, and Liuzzi cheese makes the best cheese around, and they're known for making their own cheese, in their own factory, the old
Oh,
world
wow.
way, and they have several
Wow.
dozen different types of cheeses that we
Yeah.
carry.
Well, the Oricchio is amazing. I'm so glad I have a little bit of it left. We were chopping it off in chunks and eating it the way it was,
Right.
but it's also really wonderful. I grated some of it, and even we had it in an omelet this morning, and
Yeah.
just a little dab will do ya because the flavor is so it pops like
It's
it's
intense.
a
Yeah.
sharp, right? It's a
Yeah.
sharp cheese. So that was awesome. You had some stuffed breads in there, and you had a stromboli, right? That was in
I
the
I
box.
don't know. There was a stuffed bread, probably. Some of the breads, they can be called strombolis, but they're like stuffed breads with maybe chicken parmesan or meatballs in them. We carry two different types of stuffed breads. From
Hmm.
Apicella's Bakery in New Haven,
Hmm.
we carry vegetable stuffed breads, which are broccoli or spinach or eggplant parmesan, which is just my favorite. Fantastic. And then
Really? Oh,
from
I love eggplant.
Venice Bakery in Hamden, we carry the meat stuffed breads, which are, chicken parmesan, meatball, pepperoni, sausage and spinach, broccoli and spinach. They even make a buffalo chicken stuffed bread, believe it or not.
Whoa. tell you, the world of bread will never be the same again, right?
Yeah, and they're easy and quick too because all you have to do is pop them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes and they crisp up nice and the filling gets hot, nice and hot, and then you just slice them up and they're a nice easy appetizer.
Well, hopefully people are starting to get hungry now because we've been talking for over 10 minutes now and we haven't told anyone how to get their hands on any of what you have to offer. So why don't you do that part of things right now? Tell people how to order from you.
Sure. Well, they can visit our website, which is newhavendirectconnect.com. And we're easy to find. You can Google us. We advertise on Facebook, so you can click on a Facebook ad or you can type in directly, newhavendirectconnect.com.
Hmm.
If you're not comfortable ordering online, you can always call. I take the orders personally over the
Oh, wow.
phone, and it's 877-219-5150.
Hmm.
And if I can't grab the phone right away, please just leave a message. We always call back.
Hmm.
We even call back if you don't leave a message because we want to make sure we're taking care of our customers.
Hmm.
And we're happy to take orders over the phone if you're not comfortable ordering online.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. Well, there were a couple of other things in the box, and I am a very adventurous person, and I like to try new things. I saved this one so people can have a visual on it. I'm gonna hold it up. Let me see if I can hold it. There we go. How do you pronounce the name of all these things on this package here?
So Apicella's is the brand. So it's from Apicella's Bakery in New Haven, and those are called
Uh-huh.
Frisale. And frizzale is it's a hard, crusty bread chunk that is peppered. So if you were to take a bite of it, it's going to be hard and it'll be crispy, and you can see the pepper flakes
Yeah.
inside of it. So it's got a little spice to it. Some people eat them by themselves. Some people will put them in things like antipastes or salads. Other people have them with coffee, believe it or not. When they don't like something super sweet, so they'll dunk a
Oh.
frizzale in coffee and they'll eat the frizzale with coffee because it's not a overly sweet thing to accompany coffee, but it does have, some nice substance that'll fill you up.
Hmm. Yeah, I had never heard of this, and so thank you for an adventure in eating there. I did hold one up, so if you guys in Radio Land want to see what it looks like, you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Talk about your philosophy as far as why you do what you do and how you do it.
Well, about 7 years ago, I belonged to several Facebook groups, New Haven food groups and Worcester Street groups, Italian
Hmm.
American groups.
Hmm.
And I was reading these posts from people who had moved away, and they were just really bemoaning the fact that where they had moved to, they couldn't find food that they considered authentic, and they
Hmm.
really, really missed the food that they had grown up with and moved away from.
Hmm.
And so I had this idea and I put a trial balloon out there about 5 years ago and I posted something that said, if there was a company that would shop for your favorite New Haven brands and ship them to you, no matter where you live,
Hmm.
would you buy from them? And I was attacked with the response. It was kind of like, you need to open tomorrow. No, you have to do this. It was overwhelmingly positive. So
Wow.
that gave me the confidence to do this. And at the time, I was still in the corporate world. So I was kind of starting to get my partners together on the side. And then I'd separate, I'd have a separation, I'd leave my job and I'd move the website forward a little bit. I'd get a couple more partners on, and then I'd get another position. And I'd
Hmm.
work for a couple of more years as a chief marketing officer, and then I'd leave again and I'd
Hmm.
move the business forward a little bit further. So
Hmm.
about 3 years ago, I separated from what I considered to be my last corporate job, and I said, it's time. We're going to launch this. And I called in a few favors. We
Hmm.
built out the website, we built out the marketing plan. I said to all my very patient partners, it's happening finally. We're going to do this.
Hmm.
And so we started the business. And our mission is very simple. It's to make people happy by bringing them the foods they miss from the brands they love. And
Oh.
it's that simple. And anything we can do to deliver on that, we try to do it.
Hmm. That's I love that. I love that idea of pleasing people and making them happy. Food does that,
It sure does.
and if it's a food you love, it does it doubly well. That's for sure. What are
Yeah.
some of your current best sellers?
Well, right now, it's interesting because we're having our seasonal transition. We're coming out of sort of the summer season, and we sell Hummel's hot dogs, which if you ask anyone in Southern Connecticut what the best hot dog in the world is, they're going to tell you Hummel's.
Yeah, those are the
And
ones that they have the natural casing kind of thing.
natural casing, we sell 5 or 6 varieties.
Oh, I
You
didn't
can
even know
get
they
them
had that many.
skinless, you can get them natural casing, you can get them all beef.
Oh.
We sell knockwurst, bratwurst, kielbasa, all kinds of things from Hummel's. But we have pretty consistently been extremely busy selling Hummel's products from, I would say, about May 1st through to right now. We're still selling, I'm selling probably 150 pounds of Hummel's products per week, which is a
Wow.
lot of hot dogs considering it's December. But
Wow.
it's still warm down south, and I think people, now that they've discovered it, you can't find them down south, and
Wow.
it's not that expensive. We have a flat rate shipping model, which, to ship hot dogs down south is pretty reasonable. So we're
Hmm.
still surprisingly selling a lot of Hummel's products.
Hmm.
We normally see a transition right now where we move from savory products over to sweet products with the holidays coming up. So
Hmm.
the bakeries are going to start to come up
Hmm.
in terms of what we have. So we partner with Lucibello's in New Haven, which is a well-known, famous Italian bakery, been around for years and years and years. We sell their Italian pastries and their Italian cookies and Anginettes and Pignol cookies and biscotti. And we sell a lot of product for them because people love to have pastry to celebrate the holidays and cookie trays and
Hmm.
things like that. We have other bakery partners too. We have Petanitos in East Haven,
Hmm.
and with Petanitos, we sell their pies. So Petanitos makes excellent pies, the traditional pies like fruit pies, like,
Hmm.
fruits of the forest, apple, pumpkin, things like that. But they also
Oh
make
yeah.
a fabulous pie called a chocolate lemon pie, which
Oh.
has kind of a fudge on top and then a lemon cream underneath. It's
Oh my.
delicious.
That
And
sounds
they make an
amazing.
Italian cream pie and a cannoli pie. So we sell all of those. And then I talked about our kosher bakery partners, Claire's Cornucopia in New Haven,
Hmm.
been around forever, famous, especially with the Yale community. So we carry their cakes and their cupcakes and their bundt cakes and things like that. And Sweet Sidner's in Hamden is a more traditional bakery,
Hmm.
and we carry their products too, which, they sell things like rugula
Oh yeah.
and things like challah bread, and they're a little bit more traditional Jewish fare
Hmm.
that we carry that's all kosher.
Wow. I mean, you hit all the good stuff. That's for sure. You got those. How do you transport a pie without it totally being trashed in the mail? That's got to be a trick right
It
there.
is a trick. It's a trick, and as I said, we've mastered it over the years. We master how to package these things so that they don't jiggle around too much inside of the box. And when we pack our boxes, there's normally not a ton of space. It's Jenga basically when you're packaging a box, when you're
Hmm.
packing a box, getting things to fit
Hmm.
just right and making sure that the glass is packaged in the right amount of bubble wrap. And UPS every now and then will play soccer, unfortunately, with a box, and we have insurance and we'll replace product. We always want to know if a customer has a problem, and we'll replace
Oh.
product for them, no problem at all. But by and large, the stuff gets delivered in good shape and cold like it's supposed to.
Hmm.
Most product gets delivered within 2 or 3 days this time of year. In the summer, it's 1 or 2 days
Hmm.
because we ship with more express and more ice bricks. So
Hmm.
we're a little leaner business in the summertime than we are in the wintertime,
Hmm.
because in the wintertime we can slow down our shipping methods and we can use less ice bricks, which is a little bit better for us.
Hmm.
And accordingly, we drop our shipping prices by $10 for every zone across the country during the wintertime.
Oh wow. So are you a one person show? Do you have anybody helping you pack all these Jenga boxes or what?
I'm primarily a one person show. I do have a person who helps me during the peak season. So
Uh-huh.
like, I hire him and he comes and helps me the 2 weeks before Christmas and the 2 weeks before Easter, which are we shipped, what did we ship? 140 boxes out the week before Easter last year. So it was pretty busy.
Wow.
And so that person helped me out, and I also have someone who helps me just make boxes every week, which is just nice and easy to do.
Hmm.
They just do them for me. But other than that, it's me. I do the marketing, I do the operations, the customer service, the technology,
Hmm.
the operations, the logistics.
Well, I tell you, you're really good at it because I mean, I was kind of a test drive, and I connected with you. You said I'll send you a box. The box showed up on my porch. Everything was fine. I tried so many amazing things, and I would be one happy customer. I'll put it that way.
That's great.
So
That's what we love to hear.
yeah, because food makes people happy, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
so this is airing on December 8th. So tell people kind of the timeline, like if they want to order in time for Christmas or gifts and stuff like that, what's the best way to go about doing that? And then just tell people your phone number and all that again.
Sure. So, being small, we only ship once a week. So, we
Hmm.
ship on Tuesdays. So, our Christmas order deadline is December 13th, Saturday, December 13th at midnight Eastern Time. As long as you get your order in by then, we'll have it delivered to you either on the 19th or the 20th. I think that's the Thursday or Friday of the following week. Whatever the Thursday or Friday is, it's either the 18th and 19th or the 19th and 20th. I'm getting my dates mixed up.
The 18th is a Thursday.
Okay, so it'll deliver the 18th and 19th, and that's our final delivery before Christmas because Christmas falls on a Thursday and we're not delivering that week because that's usually our delivery date.
Hmm.
So that's also the same delivery schedule for New Year's.
Hmm.
Our next deliveries after that will be January 8th and 9th, and we'll be delivering every week all the way through the winter. So if you don't catch us for the Christmas season, please know that we have no problem delivering all year long. We have our products available. It's not a problem for us. We've been lucky in that we haven't been delayed by a major blizzard so far, so
Yeah, knock
everything's
wood,
been
huh?
going well. And
Yeah.
it's newhavendirectconnect.com or 877-219-5150.
Hmm. Great. Well, any closing words that you have before we run out of time? Anything that I missed that you would love people to know about New Haven Direct Connect?
Just that, if you're looking for artisan foods that represent what authentic, good quality food is to you, whether it's Italian or whether it's kosher or any kind of food, really, check out our website, please, because chances are we're carrying it. And this is food that is top quality, made with love, and we treat it with love. We package it, hand package everything. Every box is treated with care and love, and it's sent to your doorstep. And we are happy to take care of you, and we're ready to serve you. So thank you very much for the time.
That's awesome. One more question and then I'll sign off here. So, do you have a favorite out of all the things that you send away to other people? Is there something that you need to keep stocked so that you don't run out of it because it'll be very sad if you don't have it?
Well, we don't really run out of anything, but my personal favorite,
Your
the
personal,
thing
yeah.
that like when I go visit our supplier,
Hmm.
I'm always getting one or two for myself is
Hmm.
Italian pastry. Peter at Lucibella's is wonderful. He always asks me, "Can I get you anything today?" And well, maybe I'll have one of those and one of those, and they never make it home. They're in the
Oh,
vehicle with me and they're eaten by the time we get back home.
oh man, I would love to try that kind of stuff, and maybe with my next box, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, Steve Thomas, owner of New Haven Direct Connect, which is an Italian gourmet and more mail order business. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate uh, what you sent me, and I appreciate the time that you spent. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Ruth. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. This is Ruth Hartunian Ellenbaugh. I am signing off here on Good Company, WILI.